I don't just understand. You see, this is a classical definition of an armchair approach to the fight against corruption.
Why do you say so?
We are having a government banking, achievement on the basis of trivialities. This is trivial governance, nothing but trivial governance. If you want to fight corruption, there is an approach to it, and the approach must be straightforward, the approach must be plain, and the approach must be legal. Now, under our criminal jurisprudence, it does not only lie in the efforts of a particular arm of the bureaucracy to be able to hand down crime and to be able to hand down especially issues about public corruption. Remember that some of the concerns the NDC itself raised whilst in opposition on the establishment of the Office of the Special Prosecution had to do with the fact that we were on an unnecessary duplication of bureaucracy, which to a certain extent makes a lot of sense. Now, what then is suggested that there are other avenues by which we can tackle the issue of Ofori-Atta. Indeed, this same special prosecutor, in my estimation, appeared to have been used in the early days of the office, the governance of the NDC, to actually blacklist, blackmail, and to actually darken the reputation of a lot of former government functionaries, including Ofori-Atta. Some of us, even from the NPP, had advocated that Ofori-Atta be dealt with, any former government appointee be dealt with, if indeed there are factual basis for fighting them on any wrongdoing. Nearly a year down the line, we are still being given the excuse that the too much noise made to the point where Ofori-Atta was declared a fugitive of justice do not still constitute enough grounds for prosecution.
A fugitive from justice. Okay,
and we are hiding under the works of and delays of special prosecutor. Does the Attorney General actually need the express works of the special prosecutor to embark on extradition? These are critical questions. Why they need a docket? If the special office of the special prosecutor is not doing a good job, what stops the president from firing him? What stops that? What stops him from being set aside? Why are we leaving him there? Leaving him there is an endorsement of the approach he is using. Today they turn around to make it look as if he is the problem and not Ofori-Atta. The president, in fact, the Attorney General the matter can be referred to the CID for express works. When it comes to building of dockets, we all know it to be fast-tracked there. Since it's a crime, the CID can handle it. So I think that the NDC government is looking for excuses as to why they cannot deal with issues they told us were corruptible acts. If indeed Ofori-Atta have done anything wrong, there should be an avenue. Okay, let's put aside Ofori-Atta. There are a number of former government functionaries, they have told us, okay, that these guys have done wrong. What have they done to them? Do they also require extradition? No. So clearly you have, a lazy approach and a deliberate effort not to be able to deal with these matters. And I am beginning to suspect that perhaps most of the things they leveled against him are not true. How many days does it take to build a reliable docket? Just the things you read, there was an indication at some point yesterday where immediately after just the Deputy Attorney General, okay, Dr. Justice spoke, somebody, I think that's the Director for Research and Communications from the Office of the Special Prosecutor, also actually made a statement that I think by close of today also the docket will be ready. You see, if there are no basis to building credible dockets that can have the right document for evidence to prosecute people, don't run to the media space to go and tarnish the reputation of these individuals ahead of the administration of justice. And that approach, that useless and clueless approach used by Ajabing that is turning against him today, is the same approach Dominic Ayini is also using, where he comes to the media, read a litany of issues to a point of near judgment, of culpability on people, and walk away and we don't see prosecution. And walk away and there is no results. You see, government in, government out must understand that our nation, our state, require growth and development for the masses. Can there be a way for extradition to occur? Can they? Is the Attorney General telling us that if it will take the office of the special prosecutor 10 years to build a docket, they are constrained. No, I don't think they are constrained. Ultimate justice and its administration lies, okay, in him when it comes to the legal application of it. He is the Attorney General. He is the minister in charge of justice. All these letters and correspondences between the chief of staff and these institutions have got no locus. If Kisi Ajabin is the problem as they are making us believe today, they should fire him. If Kisi Ajabin is not doing something they think he should do, he himself is not above the law. So you see, when you win elections on the basis of too much talk, which we have witnessed a lot in this country, your inefficiencies in government begins to expose you. And that is clearly what is at play. I don't understand that a man whose head everybody was calling for, even when his own party was in power, we had our own set of issues with him. Okay, granted that he was a darling boy of Nana Akufo-Addo, and that was the reason he could not be dealt with. A sermon that was largely preached by the NDC. Today, that sermon, which stood the test of time, supported by the actions of even some members of parliament of the NPP, cannot be used to the advantage of the state in having the right approach to prosecuting him. In any event, why are they making us think that from the legal angle, it is only upon extradition we can deal with the purported crime of Mr. What's the name again? Ken Ofori-Atta. It is not the only avenue to having justice meted to the state. In fact, he can be prosecuted in absentia. What about that option? Why are they not exercising that option? Or there again, it is the office of the special prosecutor that has become an impediment to the Attorney General, in whose hands, ultimate prosecution lies from doing so. It doesn't just add up. It amounts to the same gymnastics of government to, at the end of the day, build, an avenue of defense and an excuse to run away from their inability to fight issues they themselves told the state had happened.
Okay.
So this media issue of making too much noise about seeming culpability of people for corruption should stop if government know they are not ready with what it takes to deal with the matter now. One thing about success, in which all of us will attest to, is the fact that success doesn't need to be marketed. Anybody who achieves success and must suffer and struggle to drum it home, there's a question to it.
Okay.
So I think that if the government must be serious about corruption, they can redefine their strategy away from the too much PR to ensuring that, okay, we do a neat underground job well, even if it is in their last 1 week in office. In 2028, they are going to court, but they go and win the case for Ghana. They go and win. I am for the prosecution of anybody who has been corrupt in the previous administration. Even if my own mother were to be in a position of public trust, okay, let the law be applied, but don't come and tarnish the image of it. So it is trivial governance, nothing but trivial governance, and it's just only a matter of time that this government will be exposed on these kind of things they are talking about. You notice that in line with similar, tactics, okay, again, another mark of unseriousness in governance. The president summoned the Chief Justice, the Auditor General, and one other officer like that on the need to deal with audit, how do you call it, infractions. There's no serious governance in this country.
Okay.
A serious president will not be wasting his time on these kind of meetings.
All right.
A simple memo such as what they claim the Chief Justice, the Chief of Staff, wrote at the instance of Ken Ofori-Atta could have sufficed in ensuring that these institutions that have already been given mandate, by legislation, proceed to do their work. Doesn't require a presidential meeting with these people. So you see, we are playing to the optics. We are playing to the media. And sometimes I just still think that government feels they are still campaigning. You can buy into this argument or not, but at the end of the day, this approach is not going to give us outcomes. And as a state, Moro, Are we, by the way, not too tired with all of these media issues, with critical governance issues, critical national security issues? Okay, the issue of extradition is not only a legal matter, it's a national security issue. You think that the extraditing state will not need to be sure that the human rights of the person you are seeking them to extradite will not be violated? Okay. So if you come to the media space and come and pass near judgment on people as though there is no avenue for defense, my brother, what it means is that your emotional conduct on the matter can be a pointer to your desire for molestation. You think they will release the person so that the person's human rights will be abused? Okay. This is the mistake the state keep making. Okay. And the NDC government that appear to want to convince us they have learned a lot of lessons in opposition are repeating. My advice to Mr. President shall therefore be that enough of the optics, enough of the speeches. We no longer want declarations in this country. We want transformation. Okay. So this whole issue of coming to do these things, and when they talk, you tell us, oh, the previous administration also did this. Where will that equalization take us to? Okay. So clearly, my conclusion is that there are other legal avenues to deal with the issue of Ofori-Atta and the issue of other corrupt practices as purported on previous appointees. They must proceed to court. Let us see action. Let us know the cases are in motion. Okay. Let us know these things rather than this trivialization of the fight of corruption. Okay. And for me, let us watch the skies well. And let us read the Times. Okay. I can tell you that majority of these things they made PR about. No, why are you advocating for them to stop me? You said it majority of, no, I have not said it already. How do you know what I'm going to say? Okay. Majority of these things they have done, practically making people look as if they are guilty of the crimes they've allegedly committed, will end up not seeing good judgment in courts. Right. Watch it. And that would be the height of betrayal to the state by this NDC government. You see, the intolerance on the fact that relative to this issue of fighting the Ofori-Atta. And I said, I'm interested because even me, go to Pan-Africa TV, go to Star FM, I have been on record as advocating for him to be dealt with. So if I am saying that, judging from what the previous this administration said when they were in opposition, what they are doing now, even what they said in the early days, I don't see it as a mark of seriousness, given what is happening. My brother sought to pontificate on why certain things are the way they are, and have advised on an approach. I am fine with it. On the issue of the second person, in just 5 seconds. Okay. It is not only the OSP that must be blamed. Okay. I'm saying that it is grounded in law that you do not require any action from the Office of the Special Prosecutor to have Ofori-Atta extradited. As a matter of fact, ultimate responsibility lies in the Attorney General. So that narrative is required to be made out there. So if the Attorney General is not doing it, then he is in the same bed with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Or if you want us to personalize it, to Kisi Ajabing. If he wants to exonerate himself from these suspicions, okay, what he has to do is to ignore the Office of the Special Prosecutor. He has a mandate of the appointing authority, the president, to make sure that the desire of the president to see these people prosecuted is done. Right. Why is he not doing it? Big question mark. Again, one of the many symptoms of an ailing government's position when it comes to the fight against issues of corruption. Okay. Thank you. It was a nice show.